We're in Mona Vale at North Sails, and we're with Paul Westlake. Now, Paul, we did the pre-Vendee Globe report. We're halfway through, half of the fleet's down below Australia, and lots happened, so let's go through it.
Yeah, Jeff, it's been a fantastic race. You know, as we spoke, it was only 45 days ago, and you know, we knew it was going to be, you know, a demanding event, but I don't think any of us really thought that the speeds and that the level of the competition right across the fleet would be what we've seen today. Yeah, we've had, unfortunately, you know, a bunch of retirements. I think we're 9 down based on today's information on the keel failure or problem on SMA. Maybe you'll be all right, but 8 or 9 boats out of 29. It still goes down in the record books as a a great challenge, and I think the skippers are proving, especially up the front, how hard they're prepared to race their boats, because the Vendee is a sailing race at the end of the day, and I think that's coming out. You're seeing the front runners really showing that they want to race the boats, and especially the likes of Amal. He really showed that those early legs when the competition was putting the hammer down, he seemed to be prepared to kind of back a little bit and just kind of follow along. And now you see him kind of stretching out a bit. Obviously, so far, he seems to be all in pretty good shape. But, I mean, you know, Jean-Pierre Dick, very, very experienced guy, makes the decision to go north of Tasmania.
I mean, that's straight, for heaven's sake.
First time ever, but all credit to him. And for sure, I've got to believe that he's running by the same methodology of to race this race, you've got to finish to win it, and he wasn't prepared to risk his boat. All credit to him.
Well, the business between Mel and Alex has been a fascinating one, hasn't it? Until Alex hit something or other.
Yeah, for sure. Look, no one needs failures. No one needs to have, you know, unfortunate incidences. You know, I think they're calling UFOs, right? Unidentified floating objects. I mean, no one wishes that on their competition. I'm sure Amal and you know, all the competitors have great respect for each other, and to be able to get in a situation where he's found that you know, he is compromised. It seems he for sure is compromised. I mean, the whole industry, we all feel sorry for that sort of situation. You know, did he hit something? Did he overload the boat? I mean, no one really knows, but the race is a long way to go. I mean, you know, Christmas Day, it looks like, going to be, you know, at the bottom of South America. Unbelievable. Well,
they're predicting that Mel will go through on the 23rd and Alex will go through on Christmas morning.
Yeah, I read something that Alex thought Christmas morning, all the power to him, you know, it'd be a nice Christmas present for him, but he knows he's, you know, he's got 500 miles or something to catch up, and he's got a bit of a pack following behind, but he's a great competitor. For sure he's a great competitor, but obviously, you know, my heart's a bit with Amal. We've done so much work with him as North Sails, and you know, everything we hear, he's very, very satisfied, and you know, we're just pleased to see that as many, we love the fact that now 20 of the 29 boats finished. We wish everybody all the best for the second half of the race.
Certainly, and of course Thomas here, he's doing what, 16, 17 knots when he hit what seems to be a container, and it just blew the boat apart.
Yeah, I mean, that's a terrible story. Thankfully he's safe. And I read this morning that he's made it to New Zealand, or he's within Coast Guard range. But what a horrible situation, and if anybody took the time to just have a quick look at the video showing the impact damage to the deck of his boat, unbelievable.
Oh, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Yes, it really is, yeah. And what about the mentality for being alone in a race like that? It seems to be getting to a few people. Now we're getting some pretty unusual video logs from guys like Ender, and who's named everything on his boat, and he's got his own community there. He's reading poetry and playing tin whistles, down to Alex, who when we last saw him, it looked like he was a man that was broken.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. Look, you know, you and I are standing here a couple of days out from, you know, Christmas, and we're going to have a nice meal, and a bunch of us are all going off to Hobart. I'm not one of them actually this year. I'm taking this year off, but I mean, we all set our own challenges, and these these skippers of these Vendee Globe boats, they're a special breed. They're adventurers, they're yacht racers, and I think you're seeing that. I think you're seeing the adventurer side in the middle of the pack and the back of the pack, the ones who are just out there for the experience and and it's got to be a mental and a physical challenge. But then once again, focusing up on the front, those guys are racing their boat. No different to what we go through when we're trying to race to Hobart or race on a TP52 or race around Pittwater on the Wednesday afternoon race. I mean, they're all competitors, they all want to win. And we just, as North Sails, we never want to lose sight of the fact that to win a race, you've got to finish a race. And that's what we're all about.
Now, talking about taking action and winning races, etc., the Jules Verne is happening again, and Thomas is out there, and Francis has started again. What's happening with the big tries?
Yeah, well, the super tries, as we call them, that's just another paradigm. I mean, you've got two of those super tries out racing around the world at the moment. One single-handed, which is Thomas Coville with Cedillo. And I think when I last looked yesterday, I saw a report. It looks like he's close to 3,000 miles ahead of the record, the single-handed record.
That much?
Yeah, unbelievable. So I mean, it depends how you kind of measure what he's doing, but it's astounding. He's sitting on 27 knots, single-handed on a 130-foot trimaran. I mean, talk about the level of stress there must be something else. So he is way ahead, and he's going to, he's going to break all records for sure. And then you've got Francois with IDEC doing the fully crewed attempt. He's only early into his attempt at the moment, but he's a couple of 100 miles ahead of that, and that's a 44-day type record around the world. So, you've got Thomas trying to break, I think, 57 days, and he could do that in 50 days.
Oh.
And then you've got the IDEC with Francois trying to beat 44. He's already a couple of 100 miles ahead, and he's had a bit of a tough time getting through the doldrums. So where's the limit? I mean, we're standing here once again, only a few days out from the start of the Hobart race. All the weather gurus, I read a little note from Roger Badham this morning. They're talking about maybe a record breaker. There are record breakers happening all over the world at the moment. It's a very cool time to be in this sport.
But it's all French, though. Heavens above, what's going on in France? Why is all this happening in France, and we're not hearing it from America or the UK or Australia, for heaven's sake? Oh, maybe we might, at the Hobart race, see Lutter do something with his radical machine.
Yeah, quite possibly. I think, for sure, as we spoke last time, France, they're very revolutionary and evolutionary. They've done an extremely good job of getting commercial support for the passion that we all have of competitive yacht racing, and also this distance racing, this extreme sports side of the business. And I think it's all the power to them, from the new Beneteau 3, the whole way up to what we're seeing with the Vendee Globe, and then through to these super tries. And there's going to be a bunch of these new super tries launched over the next couple of years. They want to get them up out of the water. They want them to foil. I mean, maybe fly. I mean, imagine flying around the world single-handed.
Like the America's Cup, yes.
Yeah, imagine that sort of technology,
Well, speaking
we had
of
a gunboat. Yeah, we had a gunboat that Jimmy Spittle and the bunch of the Oracle guys, took to Bermuda, and that was a pretty cool kind of little project just to show what can be done with foiling offshore.
Talking of France once more, is that the Beneteau Figaro 3. Now, what a boat that is. Now, I know that you guys have been involved in something with this, so what's the story there?
Yeah, well, that's a fascinating program. That's being put together by BJT, Beneteau Janot Technology, working together with VPLP, and for the design concept of the boat. And what they're looking at is, there's been, this is the third evolution of that style of boat, of the Figaro style boat. And what they want to do is they want to produce an entry-level boat into this, what we're seeing with the Imoca 60s and the Vendee. So using foils for stability, keeping the boat relatively small. It's a little bit smaller than the current boat, the current Figaro 2.
Well, it's 10 metres overall, isn't it?
Yeah, it's only a small boat,
it's
it's going to be 10 to 15% faster. It's going to be able to sail if the board does get damaged. And we're very involved with the whole aero side. We're working with VPLP and with BJT. We're doing a lot of the aero study for the program. So it can all be run through VPP and get the optimum kind of package together. It's a strict one design class, but it's something that we see, you know, as North Sails once again developing this passion for high performance offshore sailing, and not just necessarily short-handed, single-handed. This could be a really cool, fun boat with a crew as well.
I'm trying. Well, yeah, the thing that amazes me is that the foils themselves, you know, where the Americans call it the Dali moustache, which is up.
Yeah.
These are down, so it's from the vertical down into the water. For heaven's sake, they're upside down. So what sort of idea is that?
I don't know. I mean, you know, not being a yacht designer, I've got my own views on it for sure. But
for heaven's sake, tell us.
Yeah, I think for sure it looks to me like they're just trying to grab riding moment, as much riding moment as they can. Keep the boat, you know, relatively narrow and small, so it's easy to put in and out of marinas. Doesn't take up too much space, but still being a really nice platform that can sail without the foils, but then having the foils there and really get some horsepower on a little boat once you want to lean on those foils and once you get high speeds running. So, but I'm sure the VPLP design office will have other thoughts from what I think.
I'm sure they will do. Now, finishing off with the Hobart race, you've been around all the boats, or most of the boats, as far as what's your prediction?
Oh look, I'm not going to stand here. You tried to get me into a corner with the Vendee and tried to get me to pick a winner, and I respectably denied and said just I wished everybody the best and all the best obviously for the North Sails projects. I'll say exactly the same thing. I think that you know, yes, we have a number of great programs here, a number of very loyal customers, and a lot of professionals in the industry that rely on North Sails. And over the last couple of weeks, yeah, everyone in this loft, you can hear, you can see the activity here. And, you know, the boys, we've all been out as much as we can on the water, making sure everybody's got everything together. But I think the forecast does look like a pretty darn nice forecast. I think you're going to see the likes of Wild Oats really open her legs up, you know, if they get some fresh downwind running. But then I never, you know, go to Old Loyal. I would never write Loyal off, because you know, if the nor'easter can kind of bang around to the south and then go back east.
Well, it was built as a record breaker, wasn't it?
Get some reaching in. They'll be there to keep Wild Oats honest. So, you know, my tip is those two. And then once you get to IRC, I think it's very, very hard to beat a TP52. You know my pedigree and years of 52 sailing. So emotionally, I'm attached to 52 racing. So, and knowing Ichiban is one of my old Azuras, I've got to give them a little bit of a lick and hope that boat actually takes the IRC.
Oh, Matt Allen will be happy with that one.
Yeah, Matt's tried incredibly hard. He's done it on a lot of different boats. They've been itching to take the 52. You know, I was out with them a week and a half ago. They're really fired up. They'll do a good job.
Oh, good. Oh, well, thank you very much, mate. Well, have a nice Christmas.
Yeah, thanks.
And let's get together when the Vendee's over, and we'll have a what went wrong session.
For sure. You know, we've got the Vendee finishing, the Hobart race will be done, you know, the Super Tries will be around the world.
That's right.
The Figaro will be going along. 2017 is going to be a fun year, because there's going to be a lot of debriefing going on.
And the America's Cup too, don't forget.
And, yeah, absolutely, the America's Cup. You know, I'll be across there in March in Bermuda to check that everything's going well from our company standpoint.
Any goss in that? What's the goss in that at the moment?
Oh no, look, the guys are all just finishing their final testing phases at the moment, and they start putting their new toys, their AC50s in the water late
December,
January, early February sort of time frame. So you haven't seen anything yet. Talk about a game of cat and mouse. There's a good cat and mouse game. We'll see how it goes.
All right. Well, we'll keep in touch. Yeah, keep close handy. We'll be talking to you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, buddy.